This is perfect for the Los Angeles Lakers, and following them having a huge trade deadline acquiring Luka Doncic, Mark Williams, now their focus is on the buyout market and moves are on the horizon, and some rumors are starting to circulate surrounding one particular player that has Lakers fans very intrigued. We're going to break down this player and discuss what this means going forward as Pelinka continues to look for moves to improve the team. But before we get to that, folks, if you're part of the 86% who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been unbelievable. Also, thank you guys for allowing us to hit 10,000 subscribers. It means the world to myself, Hunter, and Okeshi. The content's not going to stop. We're going to keep pumping out daily content. So if you're enjoying it and you want to continue to enjoy it, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you aren't already. If you are subscribed, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that the trade deadline has passed, the craziest trade deadline in NBA history, maybe even in sports history. The Lakers made huge moves, and now their focus is on continuing to improve the team in the buyout market. We saw them play against the Warriors yesterday, got a huge win. LeBron had an insane game, but the focus right now is on the buyout market. And some new reports, rumors are circulating. I obviously had a video yesterday surrounding Torrey Craig, which was very interesting. He ultimately signed with the Boston Celtics. But there's a player that I see a lot of you guys in the comment section talking about, and that is Torrey Craig, or not Torrey Craig, sorry, that is Chris Duarte. You can see here that the Bulls waived both Torrey Craig and Chris Duarte to finish the Zach LaVine trade. And you see this here. I'd give them both a workout if I'm the Lakers. I was a big Chris Duarte fan back in the draft, could shoot and has a solid vertical. Now, again, we're at points. I'm going to go over a couple of other things. We also have a Luka Doncic update as well to go over a little bit here. But focusing on Chris Duarte now. So we know, I made a video on it yesterday, Torrey Craig would have been a perfect fit. He was a solid 3-and-D player. He is a little bit older. He's not super athletic anymore. And one of the big issues with Torrey Craig was, again, his age and would he be able to actually compete on defense. Now, Chris Duarte, if you remember, he was a very interesting player back as a rookie. He was a phenomenal rookie. He was, there was a point, if you remember back in the 2021-2022 season, after the first few weeks of the season, where Chris Duarte was #1 on the leaderboards for Rookie of the Year. Now, obviously, he has fallen off since then, but he has a ton of potential still remaining, and he is a very good three-point shooter. That is what he does best. We saw it in Indiana, and let's not forget, when he was drafted by the Pacers, he was drafted as more of an NBA-ready prospect. He was 24 years old when he made his debut at the time of the draft. So in his rookie season, he averaged 13 points a game, and with shooters, it's all about confidence. And Chris Duarte started to slowly fall off, and then he fell out of the rotation, and then was moved to Chicago after being a short stint with the Kings. This guy, I think it's worth a chance for the Lakers. Now, because of their Apron situation, they aren't able to go out and get guys who are making a ton of money. I believe, if you're making a high amount of money, 12.8 million, I believe it's over 12.8 million, you aren't going to be able, the Lakers aren't going to be able to sign him because they're above the first apron. And it doesn't seem like any signs are pointing to them moving on from a guy like waiving Maxi Kleber in order to get under that apron to sign a guy like Bruce Brown. It's just not going to happen. Torrey Craig would have been a great fit. Unfortunately, he's in Boston now. That being said, it's better than him going to a West team, I guess, but he's in Boston. Is he going to have a huge impact there? Maybe. I still would have liked Torrey Craig. I think it would have been a good fit. But when you're talking about Chris Duarte, he's actually a guy who's younger, he's more athletic, and he has some upside. He can get up, he can dunk, and he can shoot the ball very well. And he is not a great defender, but he's capable. I feel like he has the skills defensively if he can get some, action. And again, is a guy averaging 2 points a game going to change the game? No. However, he's only playing 4 minutes a game. And he's coming off of a season, last year with the Kings where he put up, 4 points a game, nothing crazy. But he has always shot the three ball well. This season in very limited attempts, 40%. The year before, 34. He had a down season in 2022. But you think about his rookie season where he shot almost 5 a game. Like, the shooting skills are there. And when you're talking about what the Lakers need from a buyout candidate, and we can go over some potential buyout candidates that any team can sign, and we'll be having videos on a lot of these guys simply because the Lakers are in a position now where this is the only avenue they can use to improve their team. And the Lakers look great. They obviously won yesterday against the Warriors without Luka Doncic, without Mark Williams, and it seems like Luka's going to be returning on Monday, so they have another game before we get to see Luka Doncic and probably Mark Williams as well. You look at some of the guys they can sign. Seth Curry, Cam Reddish, obviously, they're not going to go back to him. Josh Richardson, which Hunter had a video on, is going to, Jaden Springer, Patty Mills, Daniel Tice. There's a lot of different guys, and I do, don't mind Josh Richardson. But when you're talking about the players here, like, a lot of these guys are either on the older side, Reggie Jackson would be interesting, or not exactly what the Lakers are looking for. Seth Curry is an interesting name, a very good shooter. Now, when you're talking about, Chris Duarte isn't on this list. There's a follow-up tweet with Chris Duarte and Torrey Craig. When you're talking about Chris Duarte, I see a lot of you guys in the comment section, calling for him simply because he's younger, and he's a very good shooter. And how he could fit into this team, again, anybody you're getting with the, your buyout roster spot, you're not going to be playing him a ton of minutes a game, probably, max like 10 minutes a game. He's really meant to be just some depth, right? And for the Lakers, you have Luka Doncic, Austin Reaves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron, and Mark Williams. That's probably going to be your starting lineup when things, when they debut on Monday. Now, you of course have Jackson Hayes, who's been playing very well. Austin Reaves, Gabe Vincent, all these different things. In this, instance, you don't really have a, backup 2, backup 3. So Chris Duarte, again, you can see this here. What happened to Chris Duarte? The Lakers were high on him coming out of the draft, and he had a solid rookie year, then just faded in the shadows. The Lakers, keep in mind, dating back to the draft, if you remember, they had interest in Chris Duarte. Ultimately, they didn't draft him. Now, if you kind of, put 2 and 2 together here and you put Chris Duarte, who is a guy who has had a better season than a lot of the guys on this list in their peak, and that was, of course, for Chris Duarte, his rookie season, you can see the upside there. He's been successful at the NBA for, a couple seasons, specifically his rookie year. And if you can put him back in, you're surrounding him with one of the best, a very, very good, one of the best playmaking, forwards in LeBron James, a great playmaker in Luka Doncic, even a great playmaker in Austin Reaves, and you can start to see how Chris Duarte would fit into this team off of the bench in very limited minutes. You could see why the Lakers might take a chance on him. He's a very good three-point shooter, and ultimately, when you're comparing him to some of the other guys here, yes, you would rather someone with more defense. Chris Duarte is not a great defender. He doesn't help a ton on the defensive side of things. But if you're looking for someone who can shoot the ball, and that's something they desperately need, because you look at the bench, Austin Reaves, solid shooter. Gabe Vincent's really starting to heat up. You have LeBron, Jared Vanderbilt, and Jackson Hayes. None of those guys are particularly great three-point shooters, although LeBron's having a pretty good year shooting from 3. You're looking at a team now, or a player in Chris Duarte who can just give you some three-point shooting, and that's not something that is super easy to come by in the NBA. Yes, Seth Curry's available. Of course, they'll be interested in a lot of those guys, but the Lakers are pretty limited. Now, if you're unfamiliar with their apron situation, you can see here, the second paragraph, any team over the first apron cannot sign a potential buyout player whose contract is more than $12.8 million. And then, for example, players like Dennis Schroeder, who are making 13, cannot sign with a team above the first apron. Similarly, Bruce Brown, which I covered in yesterday's video, has long been a Lakers trade target and reportedly was a part of the Brandon Ingram trade to the Raptors, also falls in that category with a contract of $23 million. They're not going to be able to get the more, reliable, higher floor guys like Bruce Brown. Like, yes, you would much prefer Bruce Brown over Chris Duarte, but when you're picking it out of guys who you're hoping are lottery tickets at this point, that you're hoping will have some sort of impact, picking a guy who was, at one point a rookie of the year contender and rookie of the year, not finalist by the time the season ended, but a rookie of the year, early in the season, was playing fantastic, had a great rookie year. You can't go wrong with a rookie of the year contender, especially early on in his career. So he's also younger than a lot of the guys in the list. And I think he's you take a flyer on him. A guy who put up 13 points a game, shooting 37% from 3 and almost 5 attempts a game. You put him with LeBron, you put him with Luka. He's not going to be playing a ton of minutes, maybe 10 minutes a game. You continue to ride that out and see what he can do. And at the very least, again, it's a buyout candidate. But let me know down below, out of these buyout contenders, or these buyout candidates, which would you like to see the Lakers go after? It's funny because 2 of these are Lakers, Cam Reddish and Jalen Hood-Schifino, who was waived by the Jazz. Things are getting very interesting. We're going to keep you up to date with all the Lakers news. And let us know down below what your thoughts are on former, great, not Rookie of the Year finalist, but again, a great rookie. And he was a contender for Rookie of the Year at one point. But let me know down below what your thoughts are. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later. Cheers.